Story 1. Wrong pickup. I drive night shifts for a rideshare app. Late hours, better tips, fewer people. Usually peaceful, usually. That night, the city was empty. No cars, no people, just lights. I got a ping around 2:15 a.m. Pickup from a closed gas station. Weird, but not unheard of. When I pulled up, the station was dark. Lights out. Sign off. No one inside. Then I saw him, pacing near the entrance. He wore a gray hoodie. Old, torn, dirty. He kept looking over his shoulder. Twitchy, like he was hiding. I hesitated. Finger over the cancel button. But I didn't press it. I still don't know why. I unlocked the doors. He got in without a word, sat in the back, didn't buckle up, just stared. I looked at him through the rearview mirror. He stared back, eyes locked, not blinking. I tried to drive, tried to focus. Turned on the radio. Some light music. He snapped. Turn it off. His voice was sharp, raspy, threatening. I turned it off, hands tighter on the wheel. He kept staring, through me. Then he spoke. You ever pick someone up you shouldn't have? I laughed awkwardly, tried to brush it off. He didn't laugh, didn't move. He muttered something, too low to catch. Started talking about being a driver. Uber, he said. Got robbed. Quit after that. He smiled while telling the story. Too wide, too calm. Then he said, crazy how much trust you give to someone sitting right behind you. I felt my heart thump, louder than the engine. He kept mumbling. Some words made no sense. Then he said, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. Not to me, to someone else. We drove in silence. 5 minutes, maybe 10. He hadn't said a word, just sat, breathing. The air felt heavy, too thick for a car cabin. Then he leaned forward, close to my ear. What if I wasn't the one who ordered the ride? My stomach dropped. I checked the app. No name, just a pin. He chuckled. Saw me looking. You think your app can protect you? We turned down a dark street. Only one flickering street lamp. He muttered again. This time I caught it. She didn't scream, not even once. I gripped the wheel, knuckles white. Was he confessing or warning me? Then headlights behind us, bright, close, blue tint, a police cruiser, following. I felt a rush of hope. Maybe it saw us. But the man hissed, don't stop. If you stop, I'll make this car bleed. I froze. He pulled something from his hoodie. Didn't show it. Just held it low. Could have been a knife. Could have been worse. I didn't blink. Kept driving. My mind raced, trying to think. Then, the cop car flashed lights. Short burst. Then pulled to the side. Let us go. Gone. I wanted to cry, but I had to keep calm. He leaned back again, whispered, You're lucky. You're not her. You're not the one from last time. Silence. We drove another mile. He suddenly pointed. That's my stop. Empty intersection. No buildings. Just a broken bench and woods beyond it. He got out. No goodbye. No sound. Just vanished into the trees. I sped off. Straight home. Locked every door. Didn't sleep. Filed a report the next morning. Police couldn't trace him. The name was fake. The number disconnected. No one else picked him up. Not officially. But sometimes, I get pinged near that old station. Same coordinates. No name. I never accept. Not anymore. Because I still hear his voice when I look in the mirror at night. Crazy, huh? Letting someone sit behind you just because an app told you. Story 2. The back door. I worked late shifts at a small general store in Cedar Falls. Mostly restocking. Cashier. Mopping. It was quiet. Cold outside. November wind. Only a few people came in after 11 p.m. That night felt strange from the start. Around 11:20, he walked in. Tan coat. Old. Stained. Oversized. He didn't speak. Didn't smile. He wandered the aisles without picking anything up. But his eyes, they never left me. Every time I glanced up, he was watching. I smiled politely. He didn't blink. He walked to the back, where we kept dry goods. I heard him whispering. To himself. To someone. But no one was there. I kept my distance, heart racing a little. At 11:46, he finally approached the counter. Placed one item down. A can of soup. I scanned it. He didn't speak. He held out cash. His hand was shaking. I gave him change. He didn't move. Just stared at my name tag. Avery. Then he smiled. Crooked. Wrong. You locked the back door, Avery? My blood ran cold. I didn't answer. Just nodded. He turned slowly. Walked out. Didn't buy the soup. I locked the front. Turned off the lights. Closed early. Just in case. I texted my manager. No reply. Around midnight, I was in the back room, stocking shelves. Door shut behind me. Then bang. The sound of something slamming the back entrance. Again. Louder. I froze. Another bang. Then shaking. He was trying to get in. I grabbed my phone. No signal. The banging stopped. But footsteps began. Pacing. Dragging boots on concrete. I crouched by the shelves, hands shaking. Then the doorknob rattled. He was trying it. Slow. Precise. I held my breath. Counted seconds. Then silence. No footsteps. No movement. Only the sound of my own heartbeat. Then I heard something from the front of the store. Footsteps again, but heavier, quicker. I stayed hidden, too scared to move. A minute passed, then two, then a knock, not from the back. From the hallway door. You okay? A man's voice. Deep, calm. I opened the door slowly. A stranger stood there. Tall, hooded, holding a crowbar. He said, I saw him trying the back. I come here late a lot. Saw you were alone. He looked around, checked the locks, said, he's gone now. I thanked him, shaking. He nodded, walked out. Didn't buy anything, didn't say his name. Next morning, I told my manager everything. He checked the back. The lock was damaged. We checked the cameras, front and back. But there was no footage of the man in tan, and none of the one who helped me. But here's the thing. The store never had a hallway camera. Yet, when we reviewed the feed, there was one clip. 20 seconds long. Just grainy footage of me in the stockroom. And behind me, a shape. Not the man in tan, the other one. The one who knocked. Watching. Still. Waiting. He was already inside. I never saw either of them again. But some nights, when I closed the store, I hear footsteps outside the back. And once, I found a can of soup on the counter. Unpaid, unopened, and still warm. Story 3. She said it was still inside. I live alone. Small house near the woods. February rain hits like nails. Cold and constant. That night, I fell asleep on the couch. TV still on. Phone charging nearby. Sometime after 2 a.m., I woke up. Something felt off. I sat up, muted the TV. Then I heard it. Knock. Not loud, but steady. At the front door. I froze. Heart jumped. Another knock. Then a voice. Female. Soft. Muffled through the rain. Hello? Is someone there? I didn't answer. Just sat still. I'm sorry. I need help. She sounded calm. Too calm. I peeked through the curtain. She stood under the porch light, wearing a thin gray coat. No umbrella, no shoes. Her hair stuck to her cheeks, eyes fixed on the door. I didn't recognize her. Not from anywhere. She spoke again. I dropped something earlier. I think it's still inside. Inside? I hadn't left the house all day. No one had been here. I called out, "You've got the wrong place." She smiled, didn't blink. "No, I remember now. I came in earlier." That wasn't true. I hadn't opened the door for anyone. I told her again, "You have the wrong house." But she shook her head. "It's still in there. I can feel it." She didn't leave, just stood there. Rain soaked her coat, but she didn't flinch. I backed away, called 911. The operator asked questions. I answered fast. When I looked again, she was gone. No footsteps, no sound, just the soft hiss of wet leaves.